What's up in War Eagle War Report family? Your guy Ike Jones. We are here with another morning drop. Today it is Facts or Not Friday. We want to answer the facts or not questions regarding the Arkansas game. I ain't gonna belabor the point, man. Y'all know how we do right here, War Report style. Let's drop it on them.
You are now listening to the War Report.
Morning drop. It is Friday, November the 10th. Ike Jones B. Will in here doing a little Facts or Nah Friday, Fam Question Friday, Arkansas edition.
Yeah.
And ready to get into this thing. Before we do that, y'all know you need to be doing the necessary. Go ahead and share this video out there in the land of social media. Make sure you're at the War Report so we can see who's doing the sharing out there. It helps us to feel good about ourselves. It really, helps us in the algorithm. But I feel good when I see the shares out there. So y'all do that for us, please. Like the video if you're out here in the land of YouTube, or if you're over on Facebook, go ahead and give us a thumbs up on that. We appreciate that very much. If you're watching on Twitter, which we are broadcasting live on Twitter right now as well, you can like the tweet, you know what I'm saying, all that kind of stuff. If you want to get in on the conversation, though, you do need to be over on Facebook or YouTube, because we won't be able to see the Twitter comments during the show, but be happy to interact with y'all afterwards on that. Be Will,
What up, man?
how you feeling today? Even though, you know what I'm saying, I'm on remote location getting ready to go watch Auburn basketball tonight, watch the women's basketball game last night, men's game tonight. But you feeling all right this morning, man?
Feeling all right, man. I wish I got a little more sleep, man. Kids, man, when are they gonna turn 5 and sleep through the night? It don't matter. It don't matter.
Yeah.
We here. Let's talk about the not only hopefully the Arkansas game, but maybe did we get any basketball questions?
We didn't get any basketball questions.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But yeah, so as always, we are going to start the conversation with those of you who decided to give us questions over on Twitter. Again, y'all need to be looking out for that Thursday tweet asking for questions about the upcoming Facts or Nah. And then I choose the favorite 5 that I liked the most of the ones that got sent over. And we'll start with those, and then we'll get into the live comments here in the chat. So let's get over into that. And our questions from Twitter. We're going to start it off with the Auburn King tweeting at Ty Cobb Go Crazy, who says Facts or Not drops get cleaned up in this game. It's a pretty subjective thing, cleaned up. What does that mean? Do we have
it was
fewer drops in this game, I guess? Or are you talking about completely cleaned up, like no drops, right? So that's a difficult Facts or Not to answer. But what are your thoughts on cleaning up the drops in this game?
I can't imagine they look back at that game, the wide receivers did, and felt good about the number of drops that they had. Like that was a big reason we didn't score 38, 45, like a lot of us thought we would. And honestly, you look at the results of the game and how it panned out. Of course, we could have. Those drops resulted in at least one wide open touchdown to Amari Kelly. Yeah, I think they look at this and they take this as a challenge. Can they be awesome week after week after week? We would love to see that. But I think that the effort last week and the results and what they left on the field, they can't be happy with that. And they do clean it up. There's an increased focus on making those catches. And I'm going to say 1 drop or less for Arkansas. So that is a facts, because I count that as cleaned up. 1 drop or less for this upcoming game.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go facts on this one as well. I think they're going to take it as a challenge to go out there and do what they need to do. Listen, again, you don't want to be the thing that people are talking about. And right now, that's the biggest story out of the last game, is everybody's talking about wide receivers, wide receiver, wide receiver. Like, listen, man, just don't let yourself be a part of the conversation. If there are any issues in the offense, it won't be because of me. It's the way I feel like the receivers need to take that. And I think that they will do an admirable job this game. I'm going to go facts on this one as well. Next here we have Dedrick tweeting at Dedrick_Jackson, who says the defense holds Arkansas's running game to less than 250 yards. 250 is a big number. What is average? What are they averaging right now on the ground? Because
That's a good question. We'd have to go look that up.
Hold on, I got it. Hold on. Arkansas is currently averaging 122 rush yards per game.
That's it? Huh. So they really can't do too much on the ground. You know what? Their average is not the sign, though. What do they do against Florida? That's what I want to know. Let me look at that real quick. Because, of course, you throw out the OC, stop trying to make KJ Jefferson be a passer, and then everything starts to make sense for him. So I'm going to look, even though I think our run defense is better than Florida's. However, let me look and see what they did. All right, 39-36 final score. Rushing yards, 226. Some of that was overtime, right? They had a couple shots at in overtime. Still, I say facts, we keep them under 250. I think that's a lot. It's a high number for them, even with a defense as forgiving as Florida's was. I don't think they get to 250 on us. They're going to have to pass the ball. And we're going to try to make them pass the ball because KJ's as shaky a passer as he's always been. So I think we hold down their rushing attack for the most part. I know Rock Sanders is back. It's a little different. They ain't even really deployed him in full yet. I think last week was his first week back.
Mm-hmm.
I still say less than 250. I'm going to say facts. Auburn holds them to less than 250 rushes.
Yeah, I think 250 is a big number. I think we're going to come in with a concerted effort to make KJ Jefferson beat us with his arm. So 250 for them, man, if they get 250 rushing yards, it's going to be a rough game for us. So I'm going to go facts on this one, under 250.
What's you on that?
Next one here from Thomas Jones tweeting at BigCool9999, who says facts and all, the defense will record at least 3 sacks and 2 turnovers against our Kansas.
I like that number. I think that's a good number right there. I'm gonna go facts. 3 sacks, yes. We're good behind getting behind the line of scrimmage, since they're gonna try to run KJ a little more. It may be some kind of like design keeps where we just get to him first, but that still counts as a sack. So yeah, I'm gonna say yes on that. Facts.
Yeah, I think we can get 3 sacks against them. I looked at the film and their tackles don't do a great job against speed rushers, and we've got a pretty good one over there in Jalen McLeod, who's starting to get into form right now. And I think, we're going to have an opportunity to go out there and get to KJ. I think Marcus Davis actually is going to get a sack. I mean, not Marcus Davis, Lord. I mean, wide receiver.
He gonna come off the sideline.
Yeah, just
the Russian dude. It's back
right
as the play. He's just gonna run on the sideline.
Gonna pull a Jimbo and just come out there in the middle of the play. I think Marcus Harris gets himself a sack today. I think he's gonna get one from the interior today. So I'm definitely get 3 on the day. They had an injury to one of their interior guys, a guard, in the last game. I'm not sure whether or not he's going to be playing in this one. So if they're going to be playing that freshman, expect Marcus Harris to eat today. So I'm gonna go with facts on this. 3 sacks, 2 turnovers. Let's make it happen, Jack boys.
All right.
Bubba and the old man tweeting at Bubba and the old one says facts or not, Auburn gets over 380 total yards of offense in this game.
You said
for context. For context, Auburn is currently averaging in total yards 355 per game on the season.
And if that includes the cupcake games.
Yeah. So here's again, let's contextualize this. I only said you were being negative because you were only pointing out the negative stuff. You weren't giving balance to it. It's not that the things that you were saying were incorrect. Yeah. Is that they just didn't have any balance. So
all right. So check this out. I'm not feeling very confident in the offense for the weekend. Arkansas is decent. They're at home. They just had a big a high that they hit, beating a decent opponent on the road. Decent for them.
For context as well, Arkansas giving up 325 yards per game currently,
which is not bad. I guess it's looked rough for them at times. They've given up a lot of yards and points in some games, but that's not a bad total.
It's not. I mean, they have a decent defense. Like, I know, let's not pretend as if Arkansas's defense has not been what's kept them in a lot of these games.
So I'm gonna say nah. I'm not incredibly enthusiastic about our chances with our offense to do anything but run the ball really well. So I think we're going to have to make it about the run, force it to be about the run. Similar to what they would try to be, because I think they're better running it than passing it, similar to what we are. So I expect both teams to total maybe like 600 yards,
Mm,
between 6 and 650 total yards of offense.
wow.
I don't think we get to 380. No, I'm going nah.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either. I think that again, I think Nashville was not a true road game for Auburn. The crowd was very much an Auburn crowd there in Nashville, and this is going to be the first true road test, I think, of this new wave of whatever we have going on right now with this Auburn offense. If they can do it in this game, then they'll really show me something.
Yeah.
Just haven't seen it on the road yet to that degree. I'm going to go nah, and against a quality defense at that, and a team that's going to want to play a little ball control on the opposite side. They got into some tempo this last game, but they're still going to try to run the ball. And with the new clock rules, I think that's going to limit possessions in this one. So, if Auburn can stop them from getting big plays and make them drive the ball methodically down the field, that means longer drives for Arkansas as well. I'm going to go nah on the 380 total offense in this one.
Which
Jarquez fan page at Barner_lover says facts or not, Jarquez runs for over 1,000 yards this year. He's currently at 600 and something yards with these last 3 games left.
This year, considering we would be 6-6, worst case scenario, we beat New Mexico State, we go to 6-6 for the season. If that's our worst case scenario, then he's going to get 4 games starting with this weekend to get just right around 400 yards, just under 400 yards. I think he does that. I think he does get that, but that has to include the bowl game. I don't know if he gets it just with the 3 regular season games we got left. So I'm going to say nah if we're talking just regular season, but if we're talking the rest of this football season in total, facts on over 1,000.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that assessment. If it's including the bowl game, I think he gets there for a couple of reasons. If he goes for over 100 against Arkansas, then that'll be a dynamic game for us, and we are looking at a victory there pretty handily. I think if Jarquez is over 100, because I think the total rush yards in that game is going to be somewhere close to 200 if Jarquez gets 100 by himself. Just because I think Peyton Thorne will be able to get a couple here and there, and then we'll be able to get some runs sprinkled in with the other running backs. But then, I don't know how much of the game he's going to play against New Mexico State, right? So, if we jump out to an early lead, they should rotate the other backs in. No reason to continue to run him in that game unless they're just really trying to get him to 1,000. And then Alabama's got a formidable run defense. So
they do.
I don't know how many yards he's actually going to be able to get in that game. So I think you're going to have to include the bowl game for him to be able to get there. So I am going to say facts if it's including the bowl regular season.
Yeah, which on that?
Somehow I feel like I skipped one because that wasn't 5. No, that was 5. Drops get cleaned up. 250, 3 sacks, 380, 1,000. Yeah. Okay, that was all 5. All right. Okay, well, that is it for the Twitter questions. We are going to get over into the questions that you all are submitting right here live. We appreciate you guys for rocking with us. Before we do, we got to give a quick shout out to our sponsor of today's Facts or Nah, and that is our good folks over at Manscaped. Manscaped is going to bring you their great Lawnmower 5.0. I always love reading this copy, man. Every man knows how scary it is when he gets to that close shave below the waist. That's why you trust Manscaped for all of my sensitive areas. The brand that took your balls to space is now launching them into the ultrasphere, introducing the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, featuring the new cutting-edge design and next-generation dual skin-safe blade heads for different shaves. It's pretty much a spaceship to take your boys downstairs to the next level. Join the 9 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with the brand new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping when you use code RAPPORT. Again, you want to head over to manscaped.com, use code RAPPORT. That gets you 20% off and free shipping. Your balls have been through enough. It's time to go ultra with Manscaped. All right, we are going to go into this comment section and
Mhm.
see what you guys are talking about today. We appreciate everybody who is dropping in with us this morning. We got to start it off with our super chats. We'll kick it off with B Will's forehead said, I'm going to be the most obnoxious fan if we beat Arkansas, and I won't apologize for it. I'm with you.
I need to not lose to Ole Miss and Arkansas in the same season 2 years in a row. Like Ole Miss is bad enough. Like that was insulting enough. I don't want to get obnoxious, and it
No, I
has
do.
nothing to do with being undignified or anything like that. I just don't want beating them to be something I have to celebrate. I realize that we're there. I understand that that's where we are. I just don't want to have to. I want to act like it was supposed to. I want to go, yes, quite. We beat Arkansas, and then just get ready for Bama at the end of the season. But I guess we're there, man. We're there. We
Listen,
need this for 7 wins.
I don't care if we were undefeated this season. I'm gonna be obnoxious when we beat everybody. I don't care. I don't care. My whole goal in life is to make you dislike my fandom of my team, and I'm gonna talk junk about all of y'all. And because they don't pull any punches when they talking junk to us. I have no reason to pull punches when I
That's
talk
true.
junk.
That's
Yeah.
true. I just ignore any trash talk from any fan base. It's not ours. I mean, so I don't want the get back for them because I don't listen to them. I don't see it. I choose to ignore them.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah,
They're
I
relevant to me.
I choose to punch them in the mouth as many times as I possibly can. So I'm looking forward to it. AU Converging with the super chat says, Faction Nah, I make it to midfield firing both tall fingers before security lays me out. I don't think that's that. Nah,
I don't
it's
think
not
you make it to midfield of an SEC football game.
nah.
No. If it was, maybe it's a baseball game. You might got a
Yeah.
chance. Not football though.
Yeah, I can't see that happening. Good luck to you though. Let's see. Dana Jones jumps in. Facts or not, Keldrick Falk has a breakout game against the Hogs. You got to define breakout, I guess. What do you consider a
Right.
breakout game?
For a defensive end, strong side defensive end, it's really pressures is a breakout game. A couple of sacks would be a breakout game for him, but
Yeah.
he's big enough to get the attention down there, and he's not going to be the difference maker that I think he'll be next season, but he's learning and he's growing into the role. Breakout for him in this freshman season, I think, would be a lot of pressure and at least one sack. I don't know if he gets that. That's a good question.
Yeah, it's
I
hard.
don't know if
Like I
he
said,
gets
we have to define breakout game. I think, he's going to have a solid game this game. Again, I'm not, from looking at the film, I'm not super impressed with the tackles that Arkansas currently have out there, and he's going to be lined up against one of them. So he should be able to do some things in this game. I'd like to see him have a multiple sack game. So I'm going to say facts, man. Go out there and eat for us, young man. Get you a couple of sacks in this one. KJ's a big dude. You're a big dude. Let's make it happen. Let's make sure that you are the guy getting him in the pocket under duress, and he's hating life because Keldrick Falk's lined up over there on the edge. Let's go facts on that one, man.
be wonderful.
Let's see. Ernest Vaughn says, well, I'll come back to that one. My bad. They ain't got no faction all in it. Knox Cleveland says faction all Auburn basketball will clean up the fouls from the foul fest against Baylor because that was awful.
Well, I don't think it's on Auburn basketball to clean up anything. I think it's on the refs to clean up their vision, clean up the calls. I saw a very good defense getting flagged as fouls. And we go through this every season with really our team. We're going to get out there and we're going to have a very persistent and annoying defense. Some refs are going to let us play, and some refs are going to blow the whistle. I don't know what the difference was between first and second half. I thought that was a little suspicious, but that's just how these teams, when you play that kind of defense, every now and then you're going to get, well, not every now and then, it's like one every 3 games, you're going to get refs that go, oh, nope, foul, stop the fast break. You're going to strip a guy, it's just a strip, but they're going to call foul. You're going to be playing decent on-ball defense, and they're going to say you got them with your body. And they're also going to call some absolute nonsense just because you were close enough to him that it could have been a foul. But as in college, y'all going to hear me say this all the time, college refs are the worst. College basketball refs are the worst refs of any sport, hands down. No consequences for terrible games, completely inconsistent from game to game. I don't think that was on us. I think that was on the refs. I think they'll play the exact same way. And those fouls won't get called the next time they're on the court, which actually is tonight. So I am going to say, nah. I enjoyed the hard defense. I hope they come back out with it and aren't discouraged at all. I'm going to say no.
I mean, yeah, I do think that some of the fouls were unnecessary and they were just kind of doing some crazy stuff. So if they clean up that, then I think we'll be in a good position, even with the refs giving them the bad fouls. You can't give them the extra ones. So I'm gonna say yes, we're gonna clean it up. Facts. Coach Pearl is gonna talk to the team about smart basketball and not, silly off ball fouls and stuff like that. So I'll go facts.
Okay, yeah. There were one or two. There were one or two for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's see what else we got out here. Max Effort says facts or not, AU has a 10-point lead after the first quarter.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say none of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would require us to get out to a fast start. I actually think that Arkansas is going to get out fast in this game. Now, whether or not they're going to jump to a big lead early, I don't know. I hope not, because Auburn's really has not been built to come back in games this season. But I don't think that we get a 10-point lead in the first quarter in this one. I could see us having a 3-point lead in the first quarter at the end of the first.
Yeah.
But 10, I don't think that that's going to be the case. And I definitely hope I'm wrong about that, because I would love to see us get out to a big lead and make that Arkansas team have to abandon the run quickly. But yeah, I'm going to go not a 10-point lead.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Karen F says, Factional Cobb gets a rushing TD or a pass. I'm guessing passing touchdown. So either a rushing or passing or receiving touchdown here.
How do I think they're going to defend us? I think Cobb is actually a very good target in the red zone as a running back, not running traditional routes from the outset, either leaking out of the backfield or maybe in the slot. I think he's a really good target for Peyton Thorne. I could see, especially since they aren't going to Robbie for packages nearly as much, I think that's a good red zone option. I'm going to say facts. They're going to leave Thorne in for the red zone. And yeah, I see that being an option.
Yeah, I could see Cobb getting into the end zone again in this game. I talked a little bit about this. I think that testing the edges of this Arkansas defense and having better blocking out there on the edges is going to be crucial for Auburn. I think that the Arkansas secondary is pretty good tackling. Their defensive backs are pretty good. I like McLaughlin a lot. I think he's a good. He recognizes stuff out in front of him, tackles really well. I think if we can get them stretched out a little bit more, and Cobb does a good job of that on speed sweep so far this season, whether that's the pop pass or him actually running the sweep play, that will have an opportunity to get him out in space and he'll be able to get into the end zone, particularly in the red zone. I'll go facts on this one. Okay. Chris S with the facts or not says we have a 100-yard receiver. Chris, it has not happened at all this season so far, and I don't think this is the game that it's going to begin. I'm going to go nah on this one.
Yeah, even when we've had a couple of good passing games we've had the last two games, they're spreading it around. So nobody's going to get that many looks and that many targets. There's going to be everybody kind of chipping away at that total. So I'm going to say nah. Even if we do have a good passing game, it's going to be spread around to all the receivers, tight ends, running backs, everybody. So nah.
Yeah, I can't see it happen in this game, man. Yeah. Micah Giddens says facts or nah, the turnover streak continues for the defense.
I say facts. They get at least one. If they're very intentional about running the ball, and maybe we don't get quite as many opportunities. Ideally, we're up late. They got to pass it to move it down the field. We get you. That's ideal. But with as much as they're going to be running the ball, it's still not impossible that we, draw that thing loose on a lazy run by one of the running backs. So, yeah. But no matter what, this team seems dead set on being hunters and going to get those turnovers. I say facts. It continues this week.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think we're going to be able to get a turnover versus this offense. We need us to capitalize on the opportunities we get. Offense is going to need some short fields here, so let's make it happen. Defense, continue the streak. Let's get another turnover in this one. Let's see here. Efficient gaming, facts or not, Thorne throws for over 200 yards in this game. I
I'm
can't
gonna
see it.
say nah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
can't
say
see it.
nah. I'm gonna say nah.
I just listen. If he's throwing for over 200 yards, we're gonna win this game going away.
Yeah.
Or we're having to throw to come back, and I don't like that at all. Right? Like
Yeah.
it's either
Yeah.
we're beating them up because he's slicing and dicing out there, or we're having to throw a bunch because we're down in the game. So I don't know. Um, in a tight game, I don't know. Well, this is tough because I want him to throw for over 200 because I feel like the 200 yards is a good place for him to be at. I'm gonna go nah though. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go nah.
if they come out and the first two drives are working, everything's wide open, everything's an option, then right around 200 is where you want to be. He can dink dunk, hit a couple over the top. Boom, we're at 200. We ran for like 225, comfortable win. But again, I think our total yards in this game between both teams is going to be somewhere between 6 and 650. I don't think we throw for 200 and only run for 125. I think it would actually be close to the inverse. So running for around 200, throwing for somewhere between 125 and 150. That's what I think is going to happen, but we'll see. But I'm going to say no to this.
Yeah. Well, Russ Landers, you pretty much answered his question. Jarquez over 100, facts or no?
So I don't know if it's all going to come from Jarquez though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know if he goes over 100 in this game unless he breaks a big one. I think if he's gonna get 18, 19 carries this game, he's gonna need a big one to be able to get over 100.
Yeah,
like a 50 or 60 yarder, and then the rest of those will tally up to be another 50 yards.
Yeah, I definitely think he can do that now. Like that's always possible with Jarquez. He is good. But you know what?
I think Arkansas is going to sell out against the run in this game. I think it's going to be difficult. Run yards are going to be difficult to come by for Auburn in this one. I think we break 100. Let me see. What is Arkansas surrendering on the ground so far this season? Arkansas's rush defense so far, 129 yards per game is what they're giving up.
That's not much for college.
Yeah. So if Jarquez were to go over 100, the rest of the team, if we're just going to get our average would only get 30 yards total. Woo, this is rough. You know what, Quez? Give me a 60-yarder tomorrow, baby. Facts. 100 yards for Quez. Let's do it.
Okay, that's the book. That's the book waking up. All right, I'm gonna say facts too. I just believe in Quez. I think they know what they are good at in the run game. I think they're finding out, even with some of the offensive linemen that are playing now, like that's a part of it too. They're finding out how to find those seams and create those seams. I actually saw a stat. I want to make sure I credit him to SEC StatCat that of the things that work for us, we actually had very, very few broken tackles because we had such a high yards before contact rate. We just weren't getting touched on those big runs.
Right.
That's a good sign. It was Vanderbilt, I understand, but I still think new offensive lineman. Remember Conaloo's in there, and they're moving around a couple other guys as well because I saw Muskrat in there more than he had been in the prior game. So I'm going to say facts. Quez gets this. He's coming into form. The offensive line is finding something as well. I think the combination of that gets him to this 100-yard mark.
I'm with it, man. I'm with it. All right. And then a couple more here that are not factional related, but Ernest Vaughn asked, was the War Report the only reporters in the post game for women's basketball last night? No, we were not the only ones, but we were the only ones that really wanted to ask questions for whatever reason. So we just took the opportunity to do it. But we enjoy covering all of the sports that we get an opportunity to get in there with. So appreciate you guys checking that out. And then Devin says, "Be Will not sleeping through until after 5. Until 5 should be sleep through the night at 8 or 9 months."
Listen, my youngest is a sleeping soldier, but what happened was he gets sick every week. Really, like every 10 days. We can send him and it's like, all right, so it's been 10 days. He's going to get sick. There it goes. And he doesn't sleep through the night when he's sick. He wakes up a lot. He cries a lot. Then we're going to go in there and comfort him. Then the next night when he's actually feeling a little better, he's going to remember that, hey, when I woke up and cried, they came to get me, didn't they? And then he's gonna try it again, and then just don't want him waking everybody in the house up. So I'll go in there with him. That's the struggle. He likes to sleep, honestly. But really, when my oldest got to 3, he started sleeping steady. But he was a kind of shaky sleeper. This one will sleep through the night. Now it's great if he's not sick. He's sick right now.
Yeah, it bees like that. It bees like that. All right, man. Well, we are going to get out of here. We appreciate you guys dropping in with us. We'll be back tomorrow pregame to talk or give our final thoughts on the Arkansas game. Before you get out of here, make sure that you like the video and all that sort of thing. Special shout out to the sponsor of Facts or Nah. That is Rogue Shop. Head over to rogueshop.com and use code RAPPORT. When you do that, get you a little something off your purchase. If you have any anxiety, stress, sleep issues, we just talked about sleep, Rogue Shop got a remedy for you. Make sure you head over there again using code RAPPORT. Again, we will be back at you all tomorrow pregame. Make sure that you are locked in with us, and hopefully we are talking about an Auburn dub. Until the next time, and as always, War Eagle.
War Eagle.